friends, wanted to share with you a little spring wreath I'm making for my front door. I already have a St. Patrick's Day up for the month of March, and with Easter being so early, there's just really not enough time between the two special occasions to put something for Easter. So I decided I would just try to find something that was spring colors and floral, and that will carry me into April and even possibly into May. Just depends on how well it holds up. Now I went in my craft room and just grabbed up some stash, some fabric. I love to mix, paisley and floral with stripes. I love that look. And these are just some cotton material. I've got just some white cotton sheeting that I'm going to rip up into strips. I'm going to cover this foam wreath with just some white cotton fabric. This is just a recycle from a few weeks ago of a Minnie Mouse project I did. If you follow me, you'll know what that is. Just a couple flowers. This is from a wreath from a couple years ago. Usually it's expensive as some of the flowers are, if they're not damaged, I always save them because in a few years I can usually find something to use them for again. And I just love this pink and green anyway. Now this is just a little sprig of greenery I had that I'll try to incorporate. And then across, maybe kind of draped across the wreath, I'm not sure if I'm going to make a little sign, like paint it and decoupage some letters or stencil it. Not sure. I'm still in a major brainstorming mode here, so I hadn't decided exactly what I'm going to put on that. Or I may just do the little clothespin with the pennants that say spring. I don't know. That's so overdone. I'm kind of tired of that, but that is an option. Now, so what I'm going to do is wrap my foam wreath form in just my white cotton sheeting and go ahead and make it white, and then I'm going to rip my fabric pieces up into strips, and then I'll get back with you. Okay, I want to show you I have my wreath covered in the white fabric strips. Now I did run short an inch or so right there, but that's going to be the back, and that's probably where I'm going to put the big floral area, so it's not even going to show. Now I went ahead and cut my strips up. I actually ripped my strips. Now I wanted it to be kind of frayed, looking like that. Your strips length all depends on your wreath form of what you use. Now this particular one come from the Dollar Tree, just so you know that it was one of the green ones that come from the Dollar Tree. Now and so what I did is just took the strip, tied it 2 times right here, and left it like that. Now I do have more of the pink than I do of the green, so I am going to kind of do majority of the spots pink and then do the fill in with the green stripe, and we'll see how that goes, whether or not I need to get a third type of fabric. So I'm going to set the tripod up and show you how I just tied those strips. Okay, just want to show you that I just take it over and under, kind of over and under. And I don't want to pull it too tight because I want, my fabric to show on the wreath. And then you can kind of twist these however you want it. And I will have to probably trim these tails up as I get, but that's how it's going to be. All right, I want to catch you up where I'm at. I went ahead and used all 6 of my green strips, and then in between each green strip, I put 2 pink strips. I still feel like it needs to be a little fuller, so I'm going to rip some more white strips, and I'm going to stick a white strip in between each pink strip and try to crowd it up a little bit and make it a little fuller. Okay, I've got a little bit more of the fullness that I was looking for. So now what I need to do is go around and trim off some of the extra long tails that just definitely look out of place. I'm going to hot glue the flowers and greenery on, and then I'll decide what kind of little sign I want to put on it, if any. We'll see. I went and dug in my stash and found a little piece of wood that I had from a wreath from 3 years ago. I went and printed off a little chalkboard printable that said Hello Spring. I'm just going to decoupage it on there with a little Mod Podge. Since there is some turquoise in the pink fabric, I think I'm going to leave this color turquoise because it does kind of go with it. I like the contrast to it. And so let me go ahead and get this decoupage and dried, and I'll get it all assembled and show you the finished wreath. Here's a little peek of our front yard so you can see why we're about to get washed away that I am filming in my entry hall. And I want to show you my spring wreath for the front door. And this was used with items that are 3+ years old, recycled, scraps, whatever I had. I spent $0 making this, and it was just a lot of fun. What the funny thing is a lot of times some of the projects that I make that I love the most are things that are truly from my scraps. I hope you enjoyed it, inspired you in some way to use up some of your scraps or florals or little wood pieces or whatever you have to make you something cute for your front door. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.